Hello and welcome to the 50th and final part of the Digital DJ Tips Learn to DJ email course. It's been a long ride and you can probably see we've moved away from the decks just for the first time in the whole course, I think anyway, because for the 50th part we're talking about something a little bit different, something a little bit aside from DJing, and that is how to promote yourself online as a DJ. The reason for moving away from the decks and the reason for not talking about DJ gear is this will ensure that you have a fun DJ career with lots of gigs and you get hopefully paid a bit of money for it. This is what you need to do ongoing to make everything else we've talked about happen for you. So it's important to have this side of what you do. Now some people will sit there saying, hey, I'm an artist, I just want to DJ. I don't want any of that marketing stuff, it's false, it's not real. Listen, let me tell you that since the days of the first rock bands, the people who've known their stuff, the smart people, the smart artists have marketed themselves. I remember seeing a documentary on the Doors many years ago. I thought the Doors were a load of acid-taking hippies who just, self-destructed. Turned out the Doors were reading the music papers, were applying to record labels and talking to agents and building up a network of people. All the stuff that we tell you to do online now, they were doing in the 60s before becoming one of the iconic American rock bands of their age. Everyone is at it, even the people you might least expect to be there. And today it's important. So of course today, marketing yourself means marketing yourself online. It's not all it's about, but it is a big chunk of it, and that's what this final video is going to look at. Now I'm going to look at two ways of doing it. The first way is the simple way. The second way I'm going to skim over very, very quickly, but I'll give you everything you need to know to do it. So the simple way, well, the simple way is what you see here: Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, SoundCloud, Mixcloud. That's where you can post stuff about your gigs, videos of stuff you've done, or videos of mashups and stuff you've done. Just hang the camera out your car window or film some flashing lights and slap it up there. Twitter is where you chat to your crowds. And SoundCloud, post your mixes. Actually, Mixcloud is best for your mixes. SoundCloud, post your own productions, post your attempts at producing. Get all your work out there. Link between all these services. So if you're on Mixcloud, talk about your SoundCloud account where you get the chance to comment and describe stuff. Always link between everything you do so it all links up as a whole. It's one of the biggest tricks. That way you are generating the chance for people to move around among all the stuff that you do online and all the places that you are. So that's the first thing. Start doing it. Every time you do a mix, put it online. Every time you do a gig, advertise it on Facebook events. Chat to people on Twitter, follow the right people, get followed back, be involved. This is what's going to build up an audience for you. And this is something that you shouldn't spend all your time doing, but you should put time aside and make sure it gets done. So that's the simple way. What about the harder way? Well, the harder way is to understand that really, if you're going to be serious about being a DJ, you need a brand. What do you stand for? Who are you? You need a logo. We've already talked about a good name. So you need to kind of like decide, hey, I'm the funky long-haired hippie guy who plays great techno, or I'm the sharp-dressed house and vocal garage guy who's a bit different from the grunge people in my town, or whatever. But you need to know what your brand is. And I know it's a horrible thing thinking about branding and marketing. It's got kind of sleazy salesman attitude, but it doesn't have to be that way. This website is aimed at beginners. It's can do, i.e. go and have a go and don't let anyone say you can't. And it's not purist. We'll try things, we'll have a go at crazy stuff. We're not saying don't do that because it's not the way it's done. That's kind of our brand. And everything that we do, it has to adhere to those values. And that's all brand is. It's just knowing who you are and making sure you stay true to it, because people will pick up on that. So you need all those things first, because they are going to inform the next step. And the next step is to have your own website. Now most people are like, whoa, but really having your own website is not difficult. I worked in a web agency for a couple of years, and back then we were selling expensive websites to people. Nowadays, there's still room for web agencies to make expensive websites for custom purposes for people, but for most people there's an easier way. This is where I'm going to skim very quickly across a lot of stuff. You might want to just watch it a couple of times if you're interested in it. WordPress is what Digital DJ Tips is built on, and it is what you can build a website on very easily for yourself as a DJ. It's basically a publishing piece of software. There's millions and millions and millions of websites built on it. It's easy to use. WordPress can be installed on some web space, which you'll need to buy. Most web space providers, for like $5–10 a month, will have a button you can press that will install WordPress for you. Then you're ready to go. Read the instructions, spend half a day, you can start getting stuff online. There's two things you need to do next. The first thing is to have a website address, otherwise no one can find you. So you need to go and buy a website address, somewhere like GoDaddy, philmorse.net, I own, I don't actually use it for anything at the moment. Find a website address that suits you, buy it. Work out how to point that at your WordPress website, because they're separate things. This is technical stuff, but everyone who has a website learns how to do it. You should learn how to do it too. So now you've got djmyname.com pointing at a WordPress website. Here's where you now slot your logo in, that we've decided. You brand it to look like your whatever you're standing for. So if it's happy-go-lucky stuff, or if it's really smart, natty, or if it's techno, grunge, underground, whatever. And the way you do that, the simplest way to do that is to buy a theme. WordPress is very easy to theme. You plug it in, it looks different. Buy a theme, somewhere like Theme Forest, find it on Google, sells themes for like $20, $30, $40. It's best to buy one because it means that less other people have got it, because most people will get free ones. But get a free one if you want. Theme your site, you just plug it in and turn it on. You can try a few, whatever. And that's it. You've now got a website that looks really good. It's easy to stick stuff on there, and it's got your logo on it. You're streets ahead of probably every other DJ in your district because you've done that. It's hard, yeah, sure it's hard, but you've just got yourself ahead. Now, the reason for doing all that is that once you've got that sorted, once you've put that in place, and it is a leap and it is going to be hard, but once you've got that in place, every time you do anything on your, as in an event, as in post a mix on SoundCloud, as in on Mixcloud, as in post a remix or something you've done on SoundCloud, as in, as I said, an event, so you've got an event page on Facebook, write about it on your blog and link to the various thing somewhere else. And more importantly, every time you publicize something elsewhere on all those other accounts, the social media accounts, you link back to your website. So you've got everything feeding into this hub, and that website, you own it. No one can take that away from you. If Twitter changes the way it works and everyone abandons it, like MySpace was abandoned many years ago, a couple of years ago, it won't bother you because you've still got your hub. But if you're relying on social media hubs, say SoundCloud or Mixcloud change the way that their team legally allow mixes and remixes to be posted, and suddenly all yours get taken down, or YouTube takes down your videos. At the moment, you can post copyrighted material on YouTube and they'll slap adverts on it. Everyone's happy. Who's to say that isn't going to change next week? If you're relying on all these third-party services, you're at their whim. Whereas if you have your own website, it's far, far more under your control. It's a good reason for having it. So do all that stuff. You've got it all under one roof. You've got it all there. And this is the final part of the jigsaw. And this is the real bit I want to get across. This is the last video of 50, and it's a real non-DJing thing to know, and which is going to help you. People will not commit to things in one big step. If you walked up to a girl in the street who'd never met you before and said, "Will you marry me?" Hey, you might strike lucky. Chances are 9,999 times out of 100,000, it ain't going to happen. If you spend a couple of years very carefully letting someone know you exist, finding out if they're interested, courting you, that's what we all do, isn't it? We do things in small steps. We convince people and we get the feedback and we let things happen slowly. And that's what you have to do for your audience. You want people to like you, follow you, come to your DJ gigs, eventually buy your productions when you become a top DJ producer. You can't get that to happen like that with someone you've never met before. You need to do it in small steps. Now, the big online secret about a small step is people will click like on Facebook, people will follow you on Twitter, people might subscribe on YouTube. You get them to your website and give them a little panel that says, "Hey, do you want to hear about my new mixes a few weeks before anyone else? Just sign up to my mailing list. I'll email you every couple of weeks. Promise you I won't spam you." A lot of people will sign up. Now you're building a list of your fans and you have their email addresses. And the best thing is they've said to you, "That's okay. I like you. I'm fine with that. I'm cool with that." Believe me, that's gold. I mean, I know that. Digital DJ Tips is built that way. We're built by giving people stuff and asking for something little in return. And slowly, over time, we build relationships with our audience. We've got tens of thousands of people signed up to all our accounts and to our email list and so on. But that didn't happen in one day. But if I want to tell people about a new service we've got, which in your case would be telling people about your gig, if I want to do that, the place I go to first is not the blog, it's not the website, it's the email list. It's the people who are already your fans, who've already committed to you. That's the biggest piece of advice I want to give you about promoting yourself online. And we're here, we're in the computer bit of our office, we're not over at the workshop, and the reason for that is it's not really a DJing thing, but hey, you start doing that, you put the effort in to do the stuff I've discussed today. 2 or 3 years down the line, this website, as I make this video, is only 2 years old, and we've come a long way. We've done it by using the exact methods I've just spoken to you about. 2 or 3 years down the line, as long as you're enjoying your DJing, I mean, I love reviewing DJ gear, I love playing music, I still play out. If I wasn't doing all that stuff, all the marketing bit wouldn't count for nothing, because there's nothing genuine about this whole thing. But the same with you, as long as you're still buying your tunes, getting your DJ gigs, enjoying your DJing, getting the music side of it sorted, and you don't neglect that, as long as you're doing that, this marketing stuff is going to really push you forward. And you know stuff now that most DJs, as I say, probably don't even know in your town, and I bet even those who know it, very few are doing it. So please take some of this on board, do some of it. I've given you an easy route if you can't face the old building your own website, but do some of it, because if you're not online, you really don't exist. And I hate the idea of genius DJs out there who just aren't getting anywhere because they either won't accept this stuff or they don't know where to start. So hopefully I've shown you that it is acceptable, it is okay to think about marketing yourself and branding yourself, and that you can do it. And I've given you a few pointers as to where to start. So that's it, that's the final video of 50. I'm really grateful to everyone who's followed us this far. If you're just watching this video randomly, you can go and sign up at digitaldjtips.com/join and get them all. If you are after more specific, actionable training, we have got a whole load of training courses, and you can read about them at digitaldjtips.com/courses. That's where our paid for courses are, and that's where we cover things like becoming a wedding DJ, how to set up that exact business model, how to play your first gig in 4 weeks. You don't know what to do, you're a complete beginner, but you've got a gig in 4 weeks or you want one, we'll show you exactly what steps to follow to do just that one thing, play that first gig. And we've got a few other courses on the way, and there will be more stuff added to that website address as it appears. So digitaldjtips.com/courses for your premium stuff. But I really am grateful for you for following this far. I hope you found a lot of value in these videos, and of course there's a lot more stuff, both free and paid for, around the corner from Digital DJ Tips. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.